Overnight, the sky above Ukraine turned into a storm of metal and fire. 537 Russian drones and missiles and attacks so large have forced NATO aircraft in neighboring Poland to scramble in real time. Tonight, we break down the scale, the stakes, and the sacrifice behind the biggest aerial onslaught of the war so far. Welcome back to Dynamic Trends. It's June 29, 2025, and Ukraine has just endured what officials call the most intense strike package of the conflict. As day broke, the Air Force Telegram channel confirmed Russia hurled 477 Shahed-type drones and 60 precision missiles at cities from Kharkiv in the east to Lviv near the Polish border. Air raid sirens droned for nearly 7 hours. Inside Kyiv's subway tunnels, families huddled shoulder to shoulder, clutching pets and power banks, while above them, Ukrainian crews fired off Buk and Nassam's interceptors at blistering speed. If those numbers are accurate, Ukrainian and Allied air defenses achieved an intercept rate north of 88%, a testament to Western Patriot, IST, and the country's own Soviet-era systems working in concert. Yet even one projectile getting through can be catastrophic. In Smyla, a drone's warhead tore into an apartment block. Miraculously, residents say only one child was injured. But Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky warns Moscow will not stop as long as it can deliver massive strikes. Front and center in last night's defense, the US made F-16s. Kyiv only began frontline deployments in February, but already the jets are rewriting the air war equation. According to Ukrainian officials, their pilots shot down dozens of drones during the barrage. One of those pilots was 44-year-old LT Cole Maksym Ustimenko, call sign Hyper, at roughly 3:10 a.m. After eliminating 7 targets, Ustimenko rolled in on an 8th drone. A fragment from its explosion tore through his F-16's left wing root, severing hydraulics. Witnesses on the ground saw the Falcon dip to port, then stabilize. Ustimenko radioed that he was guiding clear of residential. Seconds later, the aircraft disappeared behind tree-line, no ejection seat plume. The Air Force confirmed he did not survive. Zelensky ordered an immediate investigation, praising the colonel for steering the crippled jet away from civilians. Ukrainian aviation heroically defends the sky. In a war where every F-16 frame is precious, Kyiv just lost one and a veteran ace along with it. The ripple effects didn't stop at Ukraine's borders. At 1:42 a.m., Poland's Operational Command issued a rare full fleet alert. All available forces activated. Within minutes, F-35s from the 32nd Tactical Air Base in Lask and German Eurofighters from Marmari, Estonia, took to the night sky. Tense hours passed before Warsaw downgraded the threat level, but the message was unmistakable. Any MIS-aimed missile crossing into NATO airspace could trigger a broader confrontation. Each mass strike is also a test of NATO resolve. The scramble signals unity, but also reveals how razor-thin the margin for miscalculation is. An errant Kinzel in Poland. That's Article 5 territory. Moscow framed the onslaught as a massive strike with high-precision long-range weapons, claiming it destroyed Ukrainian arms factories and oil refineries. Russian officials boasted all designated targets were hit, but satellite imagery reviewed this morning shows that at least half a dozen impact craters in open fields, likely debris from intercepted drones. Analysts say the strike served multiple goals: draining Ukraine's interceptor stockpile, testing F-16 readiness, and sending a message ahead of next month's NATO summit in Washington. Russia can still escalate at will. Despite last night's interception success, Kyiv's missiles don't replenish themselves. Zelensky made an urgent appeal today. Ukraine needs to strengthen its air defense. These are American systems we are ready to buy. We count on the leadership of the United States, Europe, and all our partners. Each Patriot interceptor costs roughly $4 million. Shooting down a Shahed that costs maybe $50,000 is like defending your home by throwing gold bricks. Unless Ukraine receives more low-cost solutions like laser or microwave systems, the math favors Moscow in a war of attrition. And that is exactly why Washington's decision on sending additional Patriot batteries and, crucially, more PAC-3 interceptors could tip the balance this summer. The human side of last night's assault is written in sleep-starved faces. For Ukrainians, the phrase "longest night" has lost meaning. Every night can feel endless. We count drones like sheep. First, buzz. 2, buzz. If the bombs stop, we can sleep. If not, we pray the Patriot sings louder. On the ground, Russian forces continue probing along the Zaporizhia axis, but nighttime drone storms suggest the Kremlin is shifting emphasis to long-range pressure, bleeding Ukrainian morale and hardware while conserving its own manpower. Washington's Institute for the Study of War notes Iran shipped a record batch of Shaheds via the Caspian Sea in May, enough for 2 strikes the size of last night's every week for a month. Putin's bet is simple. If he can stretch Ukraine's air defense umbrella thin enough, he'll gain freedom to hammer critical infrastructure ahead of winter. Remember, the last time Kyiv's grid went dark, millions fled to Poland, Germany. That refugee pressure shapes Western politics. Tonight, candles flicker on Kyiv's Independence Square for Maksym Ustimenko. The colonel logged more than 2,400 flight hours, first in a Soviet-built Su-27, then in the F-16 he believed would help turn the tide. Every time I take off, I imagine the family sleeping below. My job is to make sure they wake up. Russia's overnight strike proved 2 things. First, Ukraine's integrated air defense, augmented by Western hardware and homegrown ingenuity, can blunt even an unprecedented aerial barrage. Second, that defense comes at a steep and sustainable cost, in missiles, in machines, and in heroes like Maksym Ustimenko. The world's attention and its arsenals will decide whether Kyiv can keep its skies contested or whether future nights grow even darker. I'm Dan. You've been watching Dynamic Trends. Stay informed, stay engaged, and enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to Dynamic Trends for more breaking news, global updates, and deep dive analysis just like this. Hit that like button if you found this helpful, and drop a comment with your thoughts on the situation in Ukraine. Want to support the channel? Check out the 10 hand-picked Amazon products linked in the description. Gear, gadgets, and essentials you'll love. Subscribe now and stay ahead of the trends, only on Dynamic Trends.